This is Gessobord from Ampersand, a superior quality painting panel with a smooth finish for professional artists, protected by proprietary archival seal barrier technology that prevents support-induced discoloration for the best archival quality. But how does it feel to paint on it? So everyone has been talking about Ampersand Gessobord's panels, and I held off buying one of these because they are a bit on the pricey side and I didn't want to ruin one of these with, an ugly painting of a horse. Aside from cotton or linen canvas, I only painted on wooden boards I gessoed myself, and this is quite easy to do. You really just need a semi-absorbent or even better, a non-absorbent gesso and a brush or a spatula to evenly apply it on the panel. But I really want to see how it feels to paint on a proper gesso board, especially since this is supposed to be the ultimate gesso board. Out of the bat, it feels way smooth, which is kinda scary because I know that the smoother the surface, the harder it is to control wet paint. And I kinda like to paint alla prima, so wet into wet. But let's not panic yet. Let's just look at the subject I'm going to paint. Today, the light coming in my room was creating an amazing light on my brush jar. And I thought, wow, this looks great. I need to paint that. What I'm looking at and I want to focus my attention on is the negative shapes between the brushes, the pop of colors, and especially the light. The light bouncing around and its glow. It's really the subject of this painting. Okay, I soon realized as I started that maybe, just maybe, the subject I chose to paint as a study might have been a little too complex. I just wrote down a note to myself for next time I want to test something to go with easier subject or something I already know how to paint. Well, I still decided to stick with it and see how far I could arrive. Sometimes struggling with a subject or a surface, your paint, your brushes, whatever it is, it's just the quickest way to learn something, and one of the reasons I decided to commit to this painting. You can easily see me struggling to make paint flow or even layering it, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It taught me something very interesting about this panel. Colors on this type of surface have an opportunity to appear more vibrant, but in order to achieve that, I will need to start with a more precise drawing and more precise direction to be able to minimize brush strokes. Because this brings to our second point. The surface is very slippery, and paint doesn't stack well on top of previously laid down paint. So if you, like me, like to put paint down and refine the painting from broad to specific, this surface could probably end up frustrating you. Of course, take everything with a grain of salt. If there is one thing I've learned in life is that everything is subjective. And also, this really is the first time I've used this panel. I wasn't lying and I guess it shows. You see, I still decided to go on with this painting because another thing I got from life experience is that you definitely get a better lesson from failures than you do from successes. And I know this is not something anyone wants to hear, it's never pleasant to fail, isn't it? But if you take a few minutes to compose yourself and start thinking of the positives, you might realize that there are indeed many to use next time to your advantage. Personally, I learned to trust the process. Working through a failed painting can teach patience and the importance of perseverance in the creative process. But it also taught me to identify areas where my technique needs improvement. But also always consider that a failed painting could teach you about the best materials for your style and technique, and help you discover more about your artistic preferences, the way you apply paint, how much medium you like to use, the favorite brush size you always go back to. What didn't work could help you better understand what does work and resonate with your creative vision. There isn't a one-fits-all kind of surface for your oil paintings. There is only your favorite, and then many others to try yourself to see if they can bring you closer to your vision. Happy painting! Bye!